Does your child confuse B and D when reading and writing? This is what's called B and D reversal, and if you want to find out how to help your child or students with this extremely common problem, this video is for you. In fact, this may well be the channel for you too if you want to teach your kids to read without the confusion. I invite you to have a good browse around the channel, hit like and subscribe. And now, without further ado, let's get started. First thing I wanted to clarify before going ahead with the strategies to solve the B and D reversal is that this is very normal. This is very common and it doesn't mean your child has dyslexia. Just saying this because I've seen parents quite alarmed by the B and D reversal problem, wondering if maybe that was a sign of dyslexia. And I just wanted to reassure you that it isn't. It's super normal. It happens, I'd say, to all kids to some degree. And this by itself, and especially in the first years of reading instruction, is not indicative of dyslexia, okay? Okay, with that out of the way, let's move on to the strategies, to the tips and tricks now, and make sure you stay until the very end of the video if you want to know why this happens to so many kids and for information on how to get my Solve B and D reversal bundle for free. First trick, focus on correct letter formation. When you're teaching how to write the letter B, make sure your kid starts with the stick first, followed by the circle. And when they write the letter D, make sure they start with the circle first, followed by the stick. This is not necessarily what children are going to do naturally. I've seen kids doing all sorts of things when they're writing letters, and I'm sure you have as well. Please let me know in the comments. I mean, if you don't teach them explicitly, their hand movements are going to be all over the place, for most kids at least. And even if you do teach them, it takes practice and repetition. They're not naturally going to follow the hand movements and the order that they are supposed to follow, okay? This is one of the reasons why you may have seen that some letter tracing worksheets have numbers and arrows showing the direction for letter formation, guiding kids on how to move their hands. The numbers, by the way, indicate the number of strokes for the letter, okay? So, a good idea is to use these letter tracing worksheets with arrows and numbers and make sure that they actually follow the right directions when they are practicing handwriting. And on top of this, remind them what they are doing because they tend to forget very easily. By the way, for the letter B, when they're working on their handwriting, you can say this: big stick comes before big belly. Okay, I know this first tip is not like a magic trick or a super fun strategy. We'll have those as well, don't worry. But this is so important that I really wanted to start with it. Consistent practice with handwriting in this way will definitely help. And it's a really good thing to do anyway when learning to read and write. And by the way, in our library of free resources, we have tracing alphabet worksheets that you can download for free. The link will be in the video description. Moving on to strategy number 2, the bed strategy. Yes, this is a fun trick, and this is what you're going to do. You're going to write the word bed on a whiteboard or a piece of paper, and you're going to emphasize how this word actually looks like a bed frame. The bed forms the headboard and is the first letter in the word bed, and the D forms the foot of the bed and is the last letter. And this is our pillow over here. If you're not very good at drawing like me, don't worry. I have this visual for you and you can download it for free. You can have it handy. You can, for instance, hang it on the wall, on the fridge, on a cardboard. And this visual, by the way, is just a part of my free bundle for B and D reversal. More info on that later. Okay, so you can also use the same trick by making a thumbs up bed, form a B and a D with your thumbs, and show how the letter B forms the head of the bed, as this is the first sound in the letter B, and the letter D forms the foot of the bed, and this is the last sound in the word bed. Okay, for this trick, which is really well known, probably the most popular trick for B and D reversals, Jack Harman, I'm sure you've probably heard of him. Has a nice song for kids explaining the bed trick to them. You may want to look for it and get your kids to watch it. Okay, moving on. Strategy number three, trick number three. Roll out your alphabet cards or simply write down on your whiteboard A, B, C, D. Can you see how the letter C is trying to hug the letter D? Yeah? So much so that there's a C hiding in the letter D. Moving on to strategy number four, mouth shapes. When you say the sound B, as in bad, your lips come together before the sound comes out of your mouth. Bat. Forming a straight line. So the letter B starts with a straight line. For the letter D, you're going to emphasize and show them how your tongue makes a curve when you say the sound D. So the letter starts with the round part first. D. This is very closely linked to the first strategy we talked about at the beginning. Remember, teaching correct letter formation. You can have kids say the sound slowly, looking in a mirror, and encourage them to watch their mouth shape as they say the letters, and also have letters right next to them as they are doing this. Okay, moving on to strategy number five. B has a belly and D has a diaper. So we have the belly over here and the diaper over here. Okay, so this is another visual that you can use. The good thing about this one is that it's funny for children, which really helps them remember. This visual is also part of my bundle for B and D reversal. Have any more strategies? I love to hear about them in the comments. And also, if you try these, tell me which one gives you the best results. And now, since you stayed until the very end of the video, you're in for a treat. I put together all the visuals I mentioned before and showed you in the video, and you can get them for free. Go to the video description, look for where it says get my Solve B and D reversal bundle for free. And don't despair. Reversal is super normal. It actually has to do with a symmetry mechanism that we all have that allows us to recognize faces and objects regardless of their orientation. For instance, it allows us to recognize that these two faces are in fact the same person. So, in a way, this is a system that we have to unlearn as we learn to read. And this system is also behind stubborn right to left writing. In other words, we can expect this to be problematic to some degree to all children, but with the right strategies and practice, children can overcome B and D reversal. Again, I'd love to hear your comments about this topic. Like, subscribe, have a good browse around the channel for more videos like this one, and see you in the next one.